Netflix didn't start with streaming. It started with DVDs sent through the mail, red envelopes, no late fees, total convenience. And when Netflix killed its DVD business, streaming wasn't ready, the internet wasn't ready, and the company nearly collapsed because of it. In the next couple of minutes, you'll discover how Netflix built its empire on DVDs, why they were still the better product at the time, and how killing them became one of the riskiest decisions in the company's entire history. Before Netflix, renting movies was a genuine pain. You had to drive to a store, hope they had a copy of the movie you wanted, and then rush to return it to avoid those dreaded late fees. Companies like Blockbuster controlled everything, and frankly, customers hated it. The experience was inconvenient and expensive. Netflix didn't invent the idea of renting DVDs. They just perfected the experience by removing all the pain points. Netflix's DVD by mail model was simple and absolutely brilliant. You'd go online, pick a list of movies you wanted to see, and they would arrive right at your door. You could watch them at your own pace with no deadlines. When you were done, you'd just pop the DVD into a prepaid envelope and send it back. No penalties, no late fees, no stress. And it worked spectacularly. For years, DVDs weren't just a successful part of the business. They were the entire business. They were Netflix. By the late 2000s, Netflix was completely dominating the home entertainment market. They had millions of subscribers, a predictable and steady stream of revenue, and a logistics network that was the envy of their competitors. The DVD business was profitable, reliable, and beloved by its customers. It was a well-oiled machine, which made the decision that came next absolutely terrifying for everyone involved, from employees to investors. Now, streaming technology existed at this point, but just barely. Internet connections were slow and unreliable. The selection of movies and shows available to stream was tiny compared to the vast DVD library, and the quality was often terrible, with constant buffering and low resolution. Objectively, DVDs were still a much better product, but the leadership at Netflix saw something on the horizon that others didn't. Physical media, no matter how popular, had an expiration date. So, Netflix made a move that shocked everyone. They abruptly split the company into two separate services. If you wanted streaming, that was one subscription. If you wanted DVDs, that was a completely different subscription under a new, bizarre name, Quickster. This meant higher prices for customers who wanted both, and the confusion of managing two separate accounts. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Customers revolted, canceling their subscriptions in droves. Investors panicked, and the stock price collapsed, losing over 75% of its value in just a few months. For a moment, it really looked like Netflix was finished. Let's be clear, this wasn't a normal business pivot. It looked like intentional self-destruction. The only way it could possibly work is if it succeeded beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Netflix was willingly weakening its strongest, most profitable product to try and force the future to happen faster. They were betting the entire company on the idea that streaming would eventually become the dominant platform. If streaming failed to take off, or if customers simply refused to come along, there was no backup plan. The DVD business had been intentionally crippled. But then, slowly, the world started to change. The bet started to pay off. Internet speeds got dramatically faster and more reliable. Smart TVs with built-in streaming apps became the standard. Smartphones and tablets put a screen in everyone's pocket. As the technology improved, streaming became more convenient. Then it became normal. The move that once felt completely premature and reckless suddenly looked inevitable, even brilliant. The world had finally caught up to Netflix's vision. Netflix didn't announce the end of its DVD service with a big celebration or a press conference. They simply let it fade away quietly. The DVD by mail service continued for years, but with less and less focus. By the time they finally mailed the last red envelope in 2023, most people didn't even notice. The future that Netflix had gambled on had already won so decisively that the past just didn't matter anymore. So why did they do it? Netflix killed DVDs not because the service was failing, but because they understood that even wild success can trap you. It can make you comfortable, complacent, and unwilling to change. They chose the uncertainty and chaos of the future over the comfort and reliability of the present. They chose massive risk over guaranteed profit. And that single, incredibly painful decision is what ultimately saved the company and built the streaming giant we know today. Think about it. If Netflix had kept its focus on the popular and profitable DVD business for just a few more years, would streaming still have won? Or did killing their own past actually make the future possible? Thanks for watching. We create more mini documentaries like this every week. If you found this interesting, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one.